So on today's Card Academy lesson, I'm going to show you guys a little bit of a control that I put on YouTube, I would say probably a year and a half ago. It's been way too long on YouTube. However, this one is something that I dubbed the Chaos Control. It's something that is a Pigcake original. It's not going to fit every routine that you're going to perform. However, I think for certain routines that involve mathematics, or maybe some performers enjoy this sort of chaotic appearing control. And it's based on an actual mathematical truth when it comes to shuffling a deck of playing cards. There's a wonderful and brilliant mathematician named Percy Diaconis, and he's a magician as well. One of the ways that he says is actually the best way to shuffle a deck of cards. Obviously, it's not an overhand shuffle because that's just sort of reversing the sequence and you're shuffling in clumps. Even a riffle or faro shuffle is not a thorough shuffle because there is a pattern that could be obtained from that. So the best way to shuffle a deck is to take the cards randomly and insert them in different spots. So just to take the cards like this, I believe that he had a indicator card on top that when he would reach that card in particular, or this card was on the bottom, then he would know that it was a full cycle. But the best way to shuffle a deck is to just take the cards from the top this way and put them in different random spots. Put them on the bottom, put them in the middle, put them second from the top, put them third from the top. And this is the true way to shuffle a deck of cards in a random order. Even if you do a riffle shuffle, you notice that the cards are getting interwoven and that still resembles some sort of pattern. So this truly results in a shuffled deck. Now from this, I decided to come up with a little bit of a control. And the control is as follows. Very, very simple to do. You have a card picked and touched. In this case, we have the Ace of Spades. This card is squared up in the middle of the deck, and you talk about the actual control itself, and you talk about the actual mathematical principle of how to best shuffle a deck of cards. In this case, take cards from the top, put it in the middle, take cards sometimes in clumps, and put them in random spots. Of course, you could put some in the bottom, you could put some in the middle, you could take an entire chunk, as a matter of fact, put that in the middle. But case in point, you want to make sure the cards are going in different locations. And of course, in that sort of demonstration, we've shuffled their card second. See, that was a little bit of a farce there. So you've controlled it second if you want. And you could control it pretty much anywhere you want with this particular control. So it's a very nice way to hide and disguise you actually actively placing a card in a certain position. Gregory Wilson, one of my favorite magicians, has a wonderful quote: if you can't hide it, highlight it. And in this case, you are highlighting it very, very easily. So let's go over the actual control itself, and hopefully we'll go from there. So for this, you're going to have a card picked very, very easily here, Jack of Spades. You're going to get a break right there above the card. And that's pretty much it. That's all you're going to need for this particular control. So you're going to explain the concept. You're going to talk, if you want, about Percy Diaconis himself. You're going to take cards from the top. While retaining the break, you're just going to place cards randomly in different locations. Now, preferably, you're going to take cards from the top half and put it in the bottom half. That way, you could get to their card faster. You're retaining the break the entire time you're doing this, but you're taking cards in chunks, putting it in the middle. However it is that you want to do it, taking cards from the top, putting it second, putting cards in the bottom. You could do this as long as you're retaining the break on that card in particular. So that's going to be the challenge here. You're going to have to do this and make sure that you are retaining that break and that separation the entire time. Now, at any point in time, you could just lift up at the break and say you could even take chunks of cards, which is not true when it comes to the mathematical principle, but it does work for this particular trick. You can say you can even take chunks of cards and just weave them into the deck this way to make sure that they're going in random spots. Now, at this point, their card is already on top of the deck. So you could place that card wherever it is that you need. You could take that card and very openly place it second from the top. You could take that card, put it third from the top, wherever that you need for that particular trick. You could place the card openly under the pretext of this particular chaotic way to shuffle a deck of cards into a genuine mixed deck. So that's something that's fairly interesting to do. And as you can see, it's very, very easy. You don't have to do any sort of crazy sleight of hand. You're just saying, look, I'm mixing the cards, taking it from the top, putting it in different locations. This is the only way to truly ensure that a deck of cards is mixed. Sometimes you take it from the top and put it second. Sometimes you take it from the top and you put it all the way in the bottom. You could take chunks of cards and put that in the middle. You could take, as a matter of fact, a big chunk, and this way you weave them in different spots. You could take cards, put it again second from the top. The point is that you are ending up with a truly shuffled deck of playing cards. No way to obtain any sort of control. Oh wait, yeah, that's a farce. That's a lie. So that's a fun control. I call it the chaos control. As you can see, it's based and grounded on a true mathematical principle, and fairly interesting depending on the routine you want to use it in. You could use it for normal routines. However, it really does have to match your personality and your performing style. It's not going to be for everyone, but it's something that I'm very happy with, just because it's a very easy way to control a card to the top of the deck without a lot of work on your end. And I don't know if you know this about me, but I'm fairly lazy when it comes to my card magic. So if I could avoid doing a more complicated control, by all means, definitely will do a lazier control. So thank you guys for being members of the Academy. Thank you guys for your continuous support. It really, really does mean the entire world to me. And I hope to see you on the next lesson.